Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, friends and foes. I am Marcus Future, and this is my 10th year retrospective. The timing of this one is different because I actually bothered to look at the date of my first upload this time and go a bit closer to that. That happened to be in January, so this is effectively going to double as my New Year video going forward. There's a lot to go over because a lot of content on this channel will be going away as part of my attempt to refocus this channel going forward, but more on that a little bit later. The bulk of this video will be a lot like my previous retrospectives, but I'll be attempting to bump up the production value a notch or two. I'm going to be taking this one year at a time. I've come up with a title for each year that sums up the general vibe, and that will be accompanied with the number of videos and VODs that were uploaded, all on a title card that I draw to commemorate it. After all that is said and done, I will be presenting you with a new plan for the future. So, thank you all for watching me up until now, and without further ado, I give you a recap of these past 10 years. Say my channel had a humble beginning would be an understatement, to say the least. The first video I ever uploaded, and I've paraded around far too much for what it is a 29-second clip with a typo in both the title and the description. Not gonna act like I've grown too much though. I still cannot spell apocalypse without looking it up first or spell check to help me. And even then, a lot of spell checks give up on me. That first clip kind of set the tone for the rest of the year, largely being Roblox shooters and primarily Hex Wars. Hex Wars was basically a Halo clone made in Roblox. I'm not particularly fond of the content of those videos, but they hold an important note to me personally, as they prove that the game even existed, as Hex Wars is no longer a game on Roblox. It's not there anymore. I would make my first celebration video on April 21st, 2015, celebrating 10 subscribers, oh boy. At the time, I was effectively going through the same motions I saw other more popular YouTubers doing, without really taking much of the substance that made those channels popular. This will happen again later, many times. Small footnote of this year is actually something that was a huge deal at the time. I made a video called Area 70 using an iMovie trailer template, as it is a video with my face in it, as well as the face of people I don't even talk to anymore, and some of whom were very small children at the time. It has been private for a while. It did manage to get 48 views before that point, making it the most popular video of my first year of videos, which should be pretty telling as to the quality of the content stored there. The last thing I'll say is this year was basically entirely silent, and the two videos that had my voice in them are currently private already. Shortly after this video airs, many of the videos from this year will be delisted, except for a couple of the Hex Wars videos, which will simply become unlisted for something of archival purposes, because Hex Wars was a Roblox game that I enjoyed a lot, even though I sucked at it and it doesn't exist anymore. I'd like to keep some of the videos around as a touchstone. The first video of 2016 was in February, as that's when I started going back to the library again. Oh yeah, by the way, all the Roblox videos on my channel were recorded at a public library after school while waiting for a church activity to start on Wednesday. It's a pretty big reason why there aren't that many videos in these early years. This fact of life changed, however, when I started to get really into using the iPad that was given to me by the school. I privated the videos that were produced in the time immediately afterwards, and some I appear to have deleted, as they feature a really squeaky version of my little brother that neither of us want circling around anymore. It was a really poorly recorded setup of the game Dokapon Kingdom, which the Runaway Guys were playing on their channel at the time. Again, I was trying to be one of my favorite YouTubers without really understanding what made them great. To the public looking back now, 2016 was just Hex Wars stuff until Christmas, when I received a 3DS from my grandparents and bought a game of my choosing for the first time ever, Asher Striker Gunvolt. From the moment I obtained the game to the moment I recorded and uploaded that first video, I had basically been playing the game non-stop. So the way the 3DS videos got recorded was by stacking a bunch of books on top of each other and carefully balancing the iPad on top of said books. This made recording and playing a game incredibly difficult, and just about any time anything actually challenging happened in Azure Striker, the screen disappeared. While these videos honestly suck bad, They were a growing point for me, as these were the first videos I really attempted to edit outside of Area 70. After these videos, mostly the Hex War stuff will disappear. I plan to delete the Azure Striker videos as I upload the better versions of them in my redone playthrough, which I haven't forgotten about. I promise, I'm working on it. I haven't streamed it in a while, but I'm working on it, I promise. Oh, good golly, things really ramped up because of the 3DS. I went absolutely ham trying to keep up making Azure Striker content, and then I added Cold Case Investigations and Fire Emblem Fates into the mix. Because of that, there isn't much to say about this year. I was slowly growing my confidence on camera, though that was rate limited by having to be quiet when I recorded late at night. In June, I started doing Hex Wars again, but the real spotlight here comes in August for some unexplainable reason. The two-part video where I played Bakugan Battle Brawlers for the Wii with my little brother is one of my most popular videos. To this very day. Please, guys, I beg you to watch my other stuff. Please. The recording method is still scuffed, though this one uses a few less books to stabilize the iPad on a chair facing the TV. You can hear the old fan going the entire video, by all means. This thing should have been forgotten about, like the rest of my content around this time, but there it is, at the top of my popular videos. Great. Last few months of the year were largely uneventful. I started playing Persona Q for the channel, because again, a YouTuber I liked was playing it for theirs, this time Sir Lionheart. In mid-November, my 3DS would break in my pocket because of a crack that had formed months earlier, rendering all of the series I had been recording with them unfinishable. After this video, everything from this year except for Gunvolt will be deleted. That's what the script says, but I think I'm going to amend that. I think I'm going to keep Cold Case around as well, because I kind of liked Cold Case, even though I never finished it. I never finished it on camera. I finished it for myself. I was replaying it for the series. It's a fairly short game, all things considered. That's why I thought I could finish it, but it got 3DS got broken before I could. So, disregarding the tech issues that swamped this year, I would call this a massive step forward in my progress, and the first domino to the content I make today. Started the year with the Elsword, of all things. For those unaware, Elsword is a free-to-play MMO, and for some reason I covered it like it was a single-player RPG that I could someday beat. It didn't last very long, but it happened. I don't know why. I started my fateful journey playing Gaia's Melody, Echoed Melodies by Echo607. I had been following her channel for a while, despite not owning RPG Maker at the time, and I wanted to spread the word of her creation. Nowadays, my relationship with the game is a little more tenuous because of the later sections of the game being a little, that's not important yet. I would upload GMEM videos at a rate about once per month until I ran into issues. A Windows update rendered my headset mic unusable, the one that I had been using, and it has the crunchiest audio quality. But I didn't have enough money to buy an actual microphone for a while, so the issue lasted a long time, and I resorted to making 2 Hearthstone videos, I guess to quote pad the schedule. I didn't want my 2 or 3 viewers to think I died, and that was how the year ended. The Gaia's Melody videos will remain, but the Hearthstone videos and that, they're going away, and so is the Elsword stuff. Year 5, I'm not even going to make a title card for this at this point. There's only one public video from 2019. It was an episode of Gaia's Melody. It'll be sticking around. I don't know what was going on that year. I decided to start getting funky with it here. 2020 was not a great year for anyone, but despite the extra time I had, I didn't spend it making videos. Instead, I spent it working in 2 part-time jobs that barely paid me, and was honestly going through a pretty bad depressive episode. Depression aside, this was the year that I decided I wanted to do art and go to college for it. My video content reflects this, as the few videos I did upload that year were mostly about making art and talking about it. My hope had initially been to live stream what became those videos, but my PC and the internet in the boonies really vetoed that idea fiercely. I'm pretty sure you could still find the old test live streams, I think they were titled. Um, they weren't great. Important thing about this year is the last video, the tester project. I finally got RPG Maker, this goofy overview of what is the game design equivalent of pushing all of the buttons in order to learn the controls is the foundation upon which Sunset of the Elements was built, which is in turn the foundation for Noon Dawn of the Elements. This is effectively probably the most important year thus far. Great googly moogly. When I said I was warming up, I sure meant it. This year had the highest number of main channel videos before this past year, at close to 1 video per week on average, which may not sound like a lot when compared to most career YouTubers and such, but compared to my previous output, this may as well have been full time. In my real life, I was going through a shift on my own. After I left college for the summer, I took a look at myself, considered my prospects with an art degree, considered the level of debt I had already incurred, and really thought about what I wanted to do with my life. I was unemployed for the first month after going home, so my original plan of working hard into the summer to pay down the debts and graduate with as little debt as possible was looking really grim. In July, I called the college to drop out. To this day, I have conflicting feelings about that choice, but it's what I did, and I'm still doing pretty okay for myself, I think. Ultimately, though, the spike in activity is because I was unemployed and lived with my parents for a good chunk of the year, as I moved into my own apartment with my husband in November, after getting a part-time job in August, which a job I may make a video about on its own someday. It might be a fun little project. That summer of unemployment allowed me to finish Sunset of the Elements to some degree. The game launched with a high number of bugs that I wouldn't find out about for a while, since basically no one bought the game, and a handful that played the demo rarely brought up bugs to me. I can only hope New Dawn for the Elements comes out in a better state, and with more playtesting to actually ensure that effect. A large bulk of this year, as I pointed out in the 8th year retrospective, to the point that it's the main element of the thumbnail, it really was Gaia's Melody. Honestly, I had hoped to be done with that game by the end of that year, but we can see how that turned out by now. If I can find some personal time between the time used for ideas about other videos, I will return to Gaia's Melody, I swear it. I don't know if I'll give it the same treatment I gave Phantasy Star 2, though. I don't know how much I want to leap into Echoed Memories, at least to the capacity of a playthrough. I loved Echo 607's content, and I think I may just want to go through that story on my own. Speaking of Gaia's Melody, though, this is the year I made my first art and a story video, where I talk about a subject related to the footage of something I'm drawing. To date, I've done 2 of these. Might bring these back, as I spend a fair amount of time drawing art for New Dawn for the Elements anyway, so I might just turn that spent time into footage I can dub stories about the development or life or whatever. Compared to when I started this channel, I definitely have a lot more stories to tell. In the thumbnail of my Year 9 retrospective, you can see a sense of the 2 tickets of that year. Phantasy Star and Super Robot Wars. I released a good few episodes of Phantasy Star 2. I made 2 of what you'd call video essays. At least that's what I call them. While they don't have the length that a lot of people who do those have, I think they're pretty decent videos. And you guys seem to agree with me to some extent, as the Falling in Love with PSO2 video is still my number 2 popular video. Side note, if you guys could just give that a little more love so it dethrones Bakugan, that'd be awesome. That'd be sick. On the VOD side of things, there isn't much to say. Kind of left it out of the Year 8 section because I didn't know what to say there either. I kept playing games, whatever I felt like playing, you know? Phantasy Star and Super Robot Wars were a huge part of it, but I also started playing things like Neptunia and Dragon Quest, just because. One thing of note is I seem to have uploaded one video featuring someone I repeatedly collabed with, Sai, formerly known as Cybrus Faye. I think they go by Sai Shepherd now, I think it's their Twitch channel. I think that's their Twitch channel now. If it's not, I'm gonna put it here on the screen. The Halloween stream in Year 8, the art stream in Year 9, and spoiler alert, and our Mellow stream in Year 10 In my perfect world, there will be another in this coming year. I love working with them, they're great, and I hope they never do anything evil that make this statement I'm putting out into the internet incredibly awkward. The script was written in June, and at that point I wasn't quite confident what to say about year 10. So we're gonna go through this one a little bit more blow by blow. So let's move over here to my YouTube channel. Here's the 2024 plan. What all did I have in here anyway? 2024 goals: 100 followers on Twitch. I did achieve that. Did not reach. I should probably full screen this. What? 100 followers on Twitch. I achieved that. Affiliate, please. Did not. Longer streams. I think on average they became longer. I don't know. It kind of varied a lot. More variety streams. I did that. Make at least 20 videos on YouTube. I did that. One guy's ability of Phantasy Star 2 video. I finished Phantasy Star 2. I think, exactly 2 guy's ability videos, I think. Get all movement sprites made. Did not do that. Good God. Make significant progress in making the story of maps. I think at this point... What existed of the game before this point? So that's the 2024 plan. So this would have been before Chapter 1 was done, because that's Quicksilver's walking sprite. That's not even finished right there. Yeah, I don't think I had much progress at all here, and now, like, I got February 2024, I was about done with Chapter 1, and Chapter 2 wasn't here. I did start slowing down with the stuff there. Anyway, Art ConPyCon. I did go to ConPyCon. I did sell stuff at ConPyCon. I did lose money at ConPyCon from selling stuff. Anyway, let's look at this stuff we got in here. So we had first video after that was the auto tiles video, which is one that did pretty well as far as devlogs go. And it is it is this part of this continuing trend from the 9th year, where I started making thumbnails around this time in year 9. Wait a second. Did I not mention that before? Huh. I guess I didn't. I really thought I would have mentioned this before, but yeah, around year 9 is when I started trying. Well, I guess year 8 is the first time I made a thumbnail, which was the 8th year. And the Why I Love PSO2, and a couple significant videos of Phantasy Star 2, but this is, I've really started trying to put more effort into thumbnails. Phantasy Star 2 kind of kept its same amount of effort. And then there's the 9th year retrospective. Yep, May 2024, the Chapter 1 was done, kinda. It is now effectively, probably really well, good and playable. This is where I put out basically a casting call. The first video of the redone Gunvolt series, which is currently the only one of the redone Gunvolt series, because I'm still working on editing the second video. I haven't even made the third one. Whoops. So the first chapter got done. We finished Phantasy Star 2 and immediately hopped into Phantasy Star 4, which was much easier to make thumbnails from because of all this artwork that's in the game. There's so much art going on in Phantasy Star 4 to tell the story that I could just edit it around and then bam. Oh, there were, a couple episodes where I didn't. I thought I was really funny for this thumbnail. It's the literal toddler, Rika, because she's 1 year old. But yeah, that was kind of what dominated the rest of year 10 was Phantasy Star 4 videos. And I made another video essay, and it is once again one of my more popular videos. which is nice. I put a lot of effort into it. Of course, I made another one, but this one was a lot more weird, a lot more niche, and because of that, it didn't do as well. It basically did on par with a regular video. These last few videos I uploaded, there was a large gap between these two and this one. In terms of upload schedule, this is it's actually after this video got recorded. This video took me forever because this dungeon's hard as balls. These two videos got recorded in the same stream because I did some grinding and I got impatient. But like, the air castle's hard, dude. I'm hoping to get that finished, but yeah, it's not been a great time towards the end here of Phantasy Star 4. Or I guess this isn't even the end. I think I don't know how much is after the air castle. I've mentioned a few times that a large number of videos on this channel are getting slashed. A lot of these videos that I'll be deleting are simply videos that I feel aren't contributing anything. They aren't adding to the focus of my channel going forward. They aren't preserving information about something I once cared about. They are, by and large, low-quality videos that I no longer wish to have around. Now, a lot of career YouTubers that have hit their 10th year of making content recently seem to be talking about when they'll be retiring from this line of work for them. Of course, the difference between them and myself is that I've never succeeded. That, and well, most of them started making content in their late teens to early 20s. I first uploaded when I was 11. I was still a kid, infantile compared to who I am today. In my effort to burn away many of those early year items is not a sign of me throwing in the towel. This is my dedication to a new era of my content creation. While I'm not about to claim that I'm niching down, at least not entirely, I am refocusing my efforts to limit the scope of content that I post on this channel. Ultimately, that means playthroughs are going to become kind of a back burner item. From here on, there will be no main playthroughs on the main channel. I will finish the things I've started, likely at a slower pace. That means Gaia's Melody and Phantasy Star 4 will be the only ones posted to the main channel going forward. Gunvolt is more of an editing project to me. I wanted to make it more of like a highlight style content. I would like for my primary content in the future to be video essays, stories, and most importantly, devlogs. While I have slowed down how often I post updates on New Dawn, that's because the actual mechanical development of the game is basically done. I front-loaded all of it. I just have to make the scenes, skills, assets, enemies, and such to create the actual content of the game. That's boring, I think. It's not exactly exciting to talk about. So, I put clothes on the pixel guy. The pixel guy was naked. He has clothes now. Okay, cool. There just isn't much to talk about as there was in the start. I also like the vlogs to be a bit longer in the future so they can be significant content as my upload schedule slows down. If you've been enjoying the wild variety of content in the past and the games, it will still be here in the form of my VOD channel. This last year, a lot of streams that have not been uploaded to YouTube simply because I've been doing art, and the art portions of my streams tend to stumble into copyright hell. It's just how it be with listening to music on stream and all. But I hope to upload a larger portion of the Twitch VODs to YouTube in the future, as well as more clips that either I or actual viewers make of the stream. Important note, that does not include dev streams specifically. I want to keep some amount of the mystique, so only people who bother to tune in to a random Wednesday noontime stream will see what I'm working on at precise moments. You can also join the Discord, where I will occasionally post cryptic messages about what I'm doing in terms of game development. This channel is part of the larger mechanism of my dreams. I hope to one day be able to dedicate most of my time to the creation of art and content that I want to do, to have games and art booths that are sufficiently profitable that I can continue to make them, and maybe actually even have to worry about the actual business part of running a business, like hiring employees and all that. Taxes junk, that's mostly a joke. I already file things like sales tax and income withholding tax for myself, although it isn't much because I've barely made money with the business. I've I was like, oh, how much money have you paid yourself for income tax withholding? And it's like, nothing. Why? Because I made nothing these past 3 years. Not 3 years, 3 months. That's about how often I get an email from the government telling me I need to file a tax withholding. And I was like, oh, whoops. Everything I'm doing right now is working together with itself toward that goal. My biggest weakness, next to just being something of an amateur at the several art forms I employ to make games, is that my online presence is somewhat lacking. My schedule for posting and uploading content is generally lackluster. There isn't much of it, nor is it of the highest quality. So amongst my current plans is to figure out how to significantly improve my video creation pipeline for a more consistent, higher quality end result. Fingers crossed, that's already started with this video, hopefully. Everything I just said was written before November 5th, 2024. The portion I'm writing now is on November 6th, 2024 and onwards. Oh, crap. Okay. Look, I know I'm not exactly a political YouTuber, but politics affect everyone. The 2024 election in the United States, where I live, didn't look very good for my safety and the safety of my family. I've mentioned a number of times in the past year and some change that I have a husband, and it's looking like it's going to get worse for people that are part of the LGBTQ plus banner in this country for at least 2 years, if not the full 4. I still have hopes for this channel, but I'm going to be busy. I hope to be a helping hand to those in my community, both physically and online if I can. If you've watched this far into the video and you want to talk to me, feel free to reach out on either Twitter or Discord or Blue Sky now. I got that after writing this part of the script. I'm more than willing to lend an ear, even if I can't really help in any other way. To anyone who sees this further in the future, I hope things get better. I really do. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry to end on such a sour note, but I feel like I had to edit my script of my plan for the future when the appearance of the future has changed. Until next we meet, stay safe out there, and take care of each other, because no one should be alone when the going gets tough.